Asia Wilson will cry, I'm a victim, and in the same breath turn around and say, yeah, I'm a bully, so what? I'm a bully and I'm a victim. Rules for thee and not for me. Asia Wilson, since I first started following the WNBA in 2024, every single year there is some type of hypocrisy around Asia.
The entire landscape of professional women's basketball has just entered a state of absolute unmanaged chaos. And the global sports community is currently paralyzed in complete shock following the most humiliating, highly classified locker room leak in WNBA history. What was supposed to be a standard, highly anticipated matchup between the league's protected elite and the rising new order has officially turned into a complete and utter massacre. The Indiana Fever, led by the unstoppable generational court vision of Caitlin Clark and the ruthless music ice-cold shooting of Sophie Cunningham, have not just won a game, they have completely and systematically obliterated, shattered, and ruined the Las Vegas Aces in a historic blowout that has permanently damaged the franchise's ego. But the real disaster didn't happen on the court. It happened the exact second the final buzzer sounded. Multiple league insiders have officially leaked that three-time MVP A.A. Wilson has thrown an unhinged screaming music tantrum behind closed doors, desperately trying to play the victim to cover up her own historic failure. But her desperate public relations cover-up has officially failed. The definitive truth is out. The locker room audio has leaked and A.A. Wilson's legacy as the protected MVP is officially being dismantled in front of millions of fans.
Because I know it's something that I can't control. When they go to that monitor, it's literally out of our hands at that point. So I really can't harp on it. I think the biggest thing is how we could continue to either keep the momentum on our side or shift the momentum the best way we can. And of course, reviews and everything is going to get in the way. But at the same time, we shouldn't even be putting ourselves in situations to have to be reviewed, even though some calls may be a little skeptical. But I know we just got to continue to focus on us, and that's something we can't control, so we can't really.
To understand the sheer magnitude of this professional disaster, we must look at the brutal, unvarnished mathematics of what just occurred on the hardwood. Caitlin Clark didn't just play basketball. She completely controlled, manipulated, and dictated every single defensive rotation the Aces attempted, proving once and for all that her basketball IQ is light years ahead of anyone else in the league. Alongside her, Sophie Cunningham played with a level of raw, aggressive, and disrespectful energy that completely paralyzed the A's perimeter defense. Together, this lethal duo systematically shattered 9 historic WNBA records in a single evening, including the most devastating scoring margin against a defending champion in league history. Next voice. The Vegas Aces, who have spent years being coddled and protected by mainstream sports media as an untouchable dynasty, looked completely slow, exhausted, and utterly helpless. Every single time A.I.A. Wilson tried to establish her presence in the paint, She-Music was met with a brick wall of defensive adjustments orchestrated by Clark. While Cunningham hit transition 3 after transition 3, mocking the A's bench with every single shot. It was not just a loss. It was a brutal top-own execution of a dynasty that has officially reached its expiration date. But instead of showing professional accountability, instead of admitting that the new generation has officially bypassed her, A.A. Wilson decided to launch one of the most embarrassing, unhinged public relations campaigns ever witnessed in professional sports. Immediately following the blowout, sources confirmed that Wilson threw a massive physical tantrum inside the AC's locker room, screaming at coaching staff, kicking equipment, and blaming everyone but herself for the historic humiliation. But it got worse. During the post-game press conference, a visibly shaken, crying, and defensive A.A. Wilson tried to play the ultimate victim card. She went on an unhinged passive-aggressive rant, uttering the absolute unthinkable about Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Wilson aggressively insinuated that the league's media coverage, the fans, and the officiating are biased, desperately trying to claim that she is being unfairly targeted and marginalized by the new wave of popularity.
100%.
Particularly you.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Particularly me. All NBA players go harder on white boys on the court. That's just how it's always.
Like
even Larry Bird.
Unwritten
Larry
rules.
Bird got guarded by a white guy. He was like, "Y'all don't have any brothers?"
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Larry Bird said.
He felt disrespected.
Yeah, he felt disrespected.
I feel like that's like the unwritten Hooper rule. So no, I was laughing. I was like, it's never that deep. It's never that deep. But
how weird. It's never that deep. So it's the unwritten rule to go after white players harder than you go after everybody else. And it's never that deep. Yet Asia Wilson Well, Asia Wilson has made it that deep. Take a look over here.
Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say you're not really about me. And she knows how.
She literally stood in front of the microphones and tried to invalidate the historic achievements of the Fever, claiming that their success is manufactured by hype rather than skill. But this desperate attempt to play the victim has backfired horribly, triggering an immediate wave of intense public backlash that has permanently stained her reputation as a leader. The absolute reality that the mainstream media is desperately trying to hide is that A.A. Wilson's entire status as an untouchable multi-time MVP has been officially exposed as a product of heavy institutional protection. For years, the league has built a protective bubble around Wilson, ensuring she receives favorable whistleblower treatment, constant positive public relations framing, and a complete pass for her on-court attitude. But when faced with the raw, unfiltered, and highly physical system of the Indiana Fever, that artificial bubble was violently popped.
About black and white, that's interesting, because over here, what'd you say?
Disrespected.
I feel like that's like the unwritten Hooper rule. So no, I was laughing. I was like, it's never that deep. It's never that deep, but
it's never that deep. But again, talking out both sides of our mouth over here. When asked about the race element in Clark's popularity, people think that we're crazy saying that race has a part to do with why the WNBA players treat Caitlin Clark how they treat her. People will look at you dead in your face if you think race has a part to do with why WNBA players treat Caitlin Clark a certain way. People will look at you dead in your eyes and say, "No, it's not. It's not true. That's not reality. You're making things up. You're delusional. You're a conspiracy theorist." Meanwhile, here it is, plain as day, in your face, a WNBA player saying it to you. Quote, "It really is, because you can be top notch at what you are as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see. They don't want to see it as marketable, so it doesn't matter how hard I work. It doesn't matter what we all do as black women, we're still going to be swept underneath the rug. That's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is."
Caitlin Clark's ability to completely dissect Wilson's defense proved that the MVP is utterly incapable of adapting when her physical advantages are matched by superior basketball intelligence. Sophie Cunningham's constant trash talk and physical dominance completely broke Wilson's mental composure, exposing her as a player who crashes out the very second things do not go her way. The narrative is dead. The fans have officially realized that the league's chosen superstar cannot stand on her own 2 feet when a real organic powerhouse takes the floor. We are officially standing at the absolute end level of the old WNBA hierarchy. The era of protected dynasties, manufactured MVPs, and desperate victim card tactics is being violently crushed by the sheer cultural and competitive force of Caitlin Clark's empire. Wilson's career and legacy have officially reached a point of no return. She can either accept her defeat and adapt, or continue to watch her reputation burn to the ground as she throws more unhinged tantrums in the shadows.
On the defensive end, we kind of had some gaps where we probably thought one thing, 2 people thought one thing, the other 3 probably thought another, and obviously you can't have that. And when you lack communication, you kind of lose sight of the shooters, you lose sight of what's going on in front of you. So obviously when we go back and we look at the run that they made, I think the biggest thing is just communicating on defense. And once again, that's what I was saying, is paying attention, and the attention to little details can really make or break you in these situations. So wish we could take it back, but we can't. So we're just gonna continue to push through. Like, we know we'll be better next time.
Asia or Dana even, the 3-point shooting. Indiana, I believe, took 30. And what do you think is the best way to defend a team that takes so many and that can make so many? Do you think that the defenses need to be better on that, or that maybe more 3-point shooting on your guys' end could sort of balance that out?
Honestly, I think as long as we do better one-on-one, I feel like they broke us down one-on-one, so it collapsed the defense. It made us help. It made us overhelp, and sometimes